For me, the most important part of the day is waking up in the morning, because the Royal Marines taught me what a privilege that is. You get a fresh deck of cards and you play them to the best of your ability. And that has just permeated my life and allowed me to push on where times are hard and enjoy times when times are good. I was born in Pakistan in 1960 to Dr. Donald Duck, the local quack of London, and Jean Mitchell of Ayrshire. Dad was a conscientious objector, and doing that in the wartime was not the easiest thing. He was also an ABA boxer, so he was no softie, committed Christian. They both became missionaries in India and Pakistan. I'm dyslexic and I couldn't write my name when I was 9, so my mother took me out of school for a year and taught me in primary 6, which didn't go down that well with the headmaster, but mind she taught all the kids in India as well, so she knew what to do and so on, and that helped an awful lot. And then moved on to Dollar, and Dollar again away from home, so that was pretty formative. You're in a boarding school, which I hated for the first couple of terms. Coming to the end of my time at Dollar, I didn't know what to do. My dad had pushed me to go to university. I kicked back against that and had lots of interviews with different people. And I'd forgotten about an interview I'd had with a Navy captain to join the Royal Marines. I'd done 1 week in CCF and hated it, but I worked out that my brother was in Bristol and I got a free train ride down there. So I went down there, absolutely loved those 3 days, lucky enough to get in and didn't really look back. I had to go to Rosyth with 9 Troop Zulu Company. One of the proudest bunches of guy I've worked with in my life. I can't quite believe that I got emotional saying 9 Troop Zulu Company, but I guess that does give the power of what those guys mean to me, because the Falklands was an interesting campaign. We set to sail down to the Falklands. Training was hard all the way, but it really got serious when being on the bridge, the 2 Sea Kings with a bunch of the SS guys went down, probably hit an albatross, and we should have been on those helicopters. We then had to write our last letters to our next of kin, so that's an interesting experience. Well, the landing, that really came back to me when the anniversary of D-Day came a few years ago, and I'm watching all the landing craft going into land in the beaches. Boy, what those guys went through, goodness gracious me. Luckily we didn't have to do that, but emotionally we thought we were going to, because we thought we were going into an opposed landing in Ajax Bay on San Carlos Water, Bomb Alley as they called it. So I can't remember how long the trip, 2-3 hour trip, the landing craft were crawling down the nets, just like you've seen in the Second World films, down the nets of the big ships into the landing craft, and off we steamed. We're now ashore and we have to dig in, and digging is interesting, digging trenches in a defensive position. And my radio operator was a guy called Pete Jenkins, still a very good friend. And now the orders are given to attack the 2 sisters. So off we went, very quiet, test fired our weapons. Now we're going into battle. We're outnumbered 4-1. We know we're out 4-1. They're dug in, so they've got trenches. Yeah, that's not going to be easy. We all senior officers gave the order to fix bayonets, which is not an order that's been given that often. And we waited. And X-ray company and the other tech were late, so that wait was quite interesting, hearing the bangs and all the rest and seeing the illuminations. I can't do fireworks really now, because fireworks are one of the things that really brings all that stuff back. And then we start the attack. The firefight starts, and the firefight is basically, if you can put more ammunition down on them than they're putting on you, you can go forward. You're advancing close enough to your artillery explosions that you're actually taking casualties. So the two sisters, I say, we did that. My depth section got mortared. Corporal Jack Bedeck got one head over heels. He gave me a full ammunition and casualty report, which meant he knew how many people had been injured or killed, and got the ammunition counted before he passed out. Marine Gordon McPherson from Oban got killed. Why was he the guy that had to get killed? But there we go. Next morning was a beautiful, beautiful sunny day. We're looking down on Stanley, seeing some of the shells going off, and no orders. And I think this is possibly one of the most peaceful times I'll ever have in my life. And you're sitting there having a cup of tea, or a wet, as we called it, and you're looking across this beautiful vista. You've got no family, you've got no money, you've got no orders. You're just trying to work out how the hell you're alive. You've lost a couple of pals, and they are pals, colleagues, whatever you want to call them. I don't think my mind will ever be as clear and as calm again. A really, really special time. You might say that's sad. I don't think it's sad at all. An absolute privilege, and that's again what leads to, I talked about waking up in the morning is a privilege, and I think many of you don't understand that. Just be lucky you don't understand it. Those of us who do understand it, and you know, if you've hit cancer, you've hit something, and suddenly you understand your life is not going to go on, you'll identify what I'm saying, because waking up in the morning is a privilege, and sometimes facing your mortality actually helps you understand that privilege. So it's really when I think I talked about the Falklands, and I lay on that hill and the two sisters and thought what I'm going to do, and I decided whatever I'm going to do in life I was going to enjoy. So rugby and golf, food and wine became really important to me. You tell me a golf course that's not prettier than its surroundings. Very few, even if you're city centre, if you're walking in beautiful fairways with trees round about, you can have a massive sprawling urban mess round about you, but you're just in that quiet green space that someone's thought about, that someone's designed. Your feet are in touch with the turf. You know, if you learn to swing properly, you connect with the ground and get some power out of it, but just walking in nice greens, you know, seeing that beautifully cut grass. Trying to appreciate the rough when you can't find your bloody ball. There's nothing quite like it. You look at the Ryder Cup, you look at people winning majors, look at the pressure they have to deal with. I think trying to hold a putt to win the Open and the Ryder Cup is a lot more pressure than running up a hill with someone shitting at you. Someone said, does it help with PTSD? I'm not sure I've got PTSD. I don't know. We run around and do lots of different things. I think it's just got a very calming influence, and being able to go and disappear onto the golf course for 3-4 hours, not have your phone on, have to concentrate for 8 seconds to hit a shot, and then absolutely not concentrate for the rest of the time till you go to your ball. Yeah, it's hard to define. It's a very special game. So golf is really what we do here in Ducks Inn. Came here in 2004. It was called Kilspindie House Hotel, and really what I've tried to do here is build a place that makes memories. 19 years in, the place is pretty well known now, and we get so many people coming back who are friends. So Ducks Inn, you know, it's food, it's wine, it's whiskey, it's cigars. You look around the memorabilia in the place, you'll see flags signed by all sorts of different people. Same with the cat collections. It's not about any one person. What comes through is the honesty, and that comes back to my father and my mother, and it comes back to the Royal Marines, and that honesty, that sense of honesty and determination and pride in what you do well. And the big thing that makes this course work is the team. And then it's about the customers, and we just have such great customers, boys, girls, old, young. It's just a fantastic place. Love being involved in it, whether I've got PTSD or not. Golf for me has been a magical game. Love it, and hopefully I'll stay fit enough to play for a good length of time.